Welcome to In the Clinch with Chuck and D. I'm Chuck, and this is my sidekick D.
Ain't that about a bitch? Oh man, it is great to be back, man.
It is great to be back,
Great to be
especially
back.
with a halfway decent fight card coming from the UFC this Saturday, April 30th.
I would have to say that. I mean, we are going to start doing more shows. We're going to incorporate. I think what we're going to start doing too is doing Strikeforce separately from when we do our shows, just because of the simple fact that Strikeforce cards are generally better now.
Generally better.
Because the Diaz Daily fight did not end the way I thought it would end.
It did not end the way we thought it would end.
But good fight all around. The Ultimate Fighter show that's going on now, Junior Dos Santos versus Brock Lesnar is filming right now.
It's filming right now.
Right now. And actually, one of the coaches for Brock Lesnar, Mr.
is working with Brock Lesnar right now.
Eric Polson. Dude, shut up, because that name just slipped my mind. It was on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, Eric Polson is actually going to be out here doing a seminar next month in May. So we're going to try to make that.
Next month in May.
In Fort Worth, Texas. So we're going to go to try to make that and get an interview with Eric as well.
Interview with Eric.
Yes, Polson. Mr.
Mr.
Dude, I hope he doesn't see this and then
Mr. Eric Polson.
when we go and train, like he just use me as like the demonstration dummy.
Dummy.
So anyway, shouts out to Tim. Shouts out to Blazing Shares. Shout out to Rita G. Who else am I missing?
Are we closing the show?
No, I'm just trying to get through. It's been a while, man. It's been a long time since I left you. Without a dope, no. All right. Hey, moving right along, man. Let's get started into
big fight card this week. We're going to get it started.
UFC 129. Toronto. Quebec.
Canada. Right?
Canada, whatever. 3 names, states, countries, or whatever. Nothing comes good.
McKinney, Cullen County, Texas.
Right.
First fight we're going to look at is Mark Bocek versus Ben Henderson.
Ooh,
great fight.
This is a great fight. This is going to be a awesome fight.
Awesome.
Bocek is coming off of a win. Henderson is coming off of a loss. But Henderson's loss isn't coming off just like some punk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He lost to
Anthony
Showtime Pettis. And
the
Benson,
kick heard around
it was the
world.
kick heard around the world. Dude, Benson Smooth Henderson is no joke, dude.
Not a joke at all.
I mean, this guy, he beat Donald Cerrone, and beat is kind of like an understatement. I mean, I think he kind of destroyed Donald Cerrone in that fight.
Beat the brakes off of Donald Cerrone.
You know, he was the lightweight champ in the WEC, so I'm interested to see this fight happen.
I'm interested as well.
I mean, do I think Bocek is going to win? Not so much.
I don't think he thinks Bocek's gonna win.
But it's still. I think it's. But with these fights now, I didn't think Pettis. I didn't think the fight with Pettis was gonna end the way that it did.
I didn't think it was gonna end the way it did either.
This guy is on something today. But anyway.
So who are you going with?
I'm gonna go with Ben Henderson, man. I just think that his activity inside the cage is just relentless. So.
Although I like Mark Bocek and I like what he did against Hazlitt, Ben Henderson the dude is tough.
He is tough.
To take one of probably the most identifiable kick in the last
20
years
yes.
in MMA, and to get right back up.
I mean, he took that square on the chin too.
Yep.
He took that. I
don't think Mark Bocek's got enough in it. I don't think he's got enough to put Ben Henderson away.
I mean, but you got to understand, man. Anthony Pettis is the champ right now too. He holds the belt still.
I'm going with Ben Henderson. I'm going unanimous decision because I think Mark Bocek.
I can see that. You know, I'll agree with that. Ben Henderson unanimous decision.
He's back in the saddle again.
Who? Which one?
Randy Couture. For this fight, we're going to do a special. We're going to go live to James Toney right now with his prediction of Randy Couture and Lyoto Machida. Here we go. How you doing, James Toney? What I wanted to ask you today is Randy Couture, the man that defeated you in your first MMA match.
I'm on James Toney. James Toney.
Well, he's fighting Lyoto Machida this week.
Who? Lyoto Machida. I eat that too. Eat that with them greens and them some little bit of cornbread, man. So you trying to figure?
Oh,
Hey, all I gotta say, I don't give who gonna fucking win this motherfucker. James Tony gonna win this motherfucking fight. I'm a motherfucking full-time motherfucking world champ. James fucking Tony.
James, you're not fighting.
James Tony.
Anyways,
Stupid. Hey.
The best James Tony impression that I know of.
The fucking James Tony.
Randy Couture, man, guy's still doing it. 45 years old.
And I'm gonna tell you something. He's going to beat Lyoto Machida.
I think so too.
You get a lot of people out there were talking. It was like, oh, is Lyoto Machida done in the UFC? No. Yeah, if he loses this fight, this would be what, 3 in a row? Is it 3 in a row?
No.
Yeah, it'd be 3 in a row. He's lost to Shogun, lost to Rampage, and then if he loses this one, he'll lose to Couture too. So, no, he won't be done. Lyoto Machida still, to me, is a prime fighter.
He's 3 fights removed from being the champ.
Right. Well, technically 2 going into this one, but I mean,
Possible title implications for Randy Couture at 45?
No. No one's against who?
I don't want to see Randy
I do not want to
versus
see.
John
No,
Jones.
not at all.
It
Dude,
would be bad.
That would be horrible.
It would be terrible.
Horrible. You don't put a classic into NASCAR. You don't put like some classic 69 Chevy into the NASCAR. You get destroyed.
So you're going Randy Couture?
I'm going Randy Couture.
I'm gonna go Lyoto Machida.
And the reason I say that, I think people has found a way to fight Lyoto and Lyoto. And I just think that, I mean, Rampage did a great, to me, I think Rampage won that fight. In my eyes, Rampage won that fight. There's people who disagree with that. Rampage won that fight because he knew how to nullify his attack. And Randy, to me, is a little bit better of a game planner than what Rampage is. And I think he'll have that same mentality.
I'm inclined to agree with you, but for the sake of argument, I'm going with Lyoto Machida, and I'm going to tell you why. He's faster, and his striking.
I mean, you think he will not?
I think that he can catch Randy and knock him out.
And knock him out? You heard it here first.
It don't take much to knock Randy out these days. Clip behind the ear, small tap to the chin.
Who knocked him out? Who was the last person to knock him out?
Brock
yes,
Lesnar?
Yes, exactly. Brock Lesnar and Lyoto, 2 different people. Nah.
I think Lyoto Machida he's a sharp enough striker. He's going to catch Randy.
Well, that'd be interesting to see. Moving right along.
Jason Brills. Jason?
Who?
No. Jason Brills versus
Vladimir
Matushenko.
Hey, they call him the janitor, right? Yeah. Matushenko, the janitor. I think he gonna mop Jason Brills' ass up. I'm gonna say this: Jason Brills hasn't fought since he fought Little Nog, which he was robbed. That was a robbery.
That was a robbery.
Somebody called the police. Let Dana White give his
highway robbery.
His description of the assailant, because he was robbed,
blatantly robbed.
And
I mean, they didn't even kiss him.
No, they didn't. He was raped and robbed.
No flowers.
Just raped and robbed. But anyway,
stripped of his manhood.
Jason Brills, I think he's a good wrestler, somewhat an okay striker. I think Vladimir has him beat in both of those categories. Even though Vladimir he lost to Little Nog. I think both of them lost to Little Nog, right? Mm-hmm. Did Vladimir fight Little Nog? No, I don't think he did.
Vladimir got mopped up by John Jones.
He did. Well, even if it was Jason Brills would have got mopped up.
It wasn't even John Jones. It was John Jones' elbow versus Matushenko.
Right.
And the elbow won.
The elbow.
Bang.
I'm just say this. I just think Vladimir, to me, is just, he's a tough individual, man. I mean, this guy is just all around tough. I don't see Jason Brills beating Vladimir. I could be wrong. I'm
gonna go with Jason Brills, just because I think Matushenko. I mean, he's an age. He's a dinosaur.
I think he's gonna knock him out. Second round, like TKO, stoppage by strikes.
Great fight. The co-main event: Jose Aldo versus Mark Hominick. Give me your pick.
You already know who I'm going. I'm going with Jose.
Jose Aldo.
Jose Aldo.
It annoys me to no end that this dude is called Jose. Hey, your name is Jose, man.
Jose.
It's Jose.
Jose.
I don't know anybody that spells their name Jose and goes by Jose. Your name is Jose Aldo, bruh. And
Anyway.
Jose Aldo is going to beat the brakes off of Mark Hominick.
Both of them have great win streaks going on. Mark
They do.
Hominick has a 5-fight win streak. Jose Aldo has an 11-fight win
He hasn't
streak.
lost since 2005.
Dude,
I don't think Mark's bringing anything to the table that Jose Aldo hasn't seen before. The only thing that maybe might play a part in this is ring rust.
Mm-hmm.
Jose Aldo's hasn't fought recently, but
I mean, he's coming off an injury too. But I
can't go against Jose Aldo.
I can't. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
And
I would
neither
love
can
to
I.
disagree with you just to make it fun, but I got to go Jose Aldo. Now, the fight that I know we're not going to agree on is the main event.
Mm-hmm.
The grand finale of this fight card: George Rush St. Pierre versus Jake Shields.
I think it's going to be a good fight.
I think it's going to be a good fight too.
Here, one of our followers on Facebook, we actually follow him, and he's actually was in a Marine. I started in the Marine Corps with him. Joe Hernandez wrote, "The notion that Shields is going to give GSP trouble, I think, is a little misguided. My sense about things, though, is that people are criminally underrating Jake Shields." I think that is a great statement.
Criminally underrating.
Yes. Do I think GSP is going to win? Yeah, I do. I think ultimately, I don't see a lot of ways for Jake Shields to win. Later down, he says, he put on there, he says, "You think you can stop his shot. So you stop his, so you do stop his shot. Can you stop his reshot? And then after you stop his reshot, can you stop his reshot after his reshot?" Because this guy, he's one of those guys that's tenacious like that.
Right.
If he doesn't get you on the first, he will try to get you on the second, the third, and he will stick to you like glue.
Right.
I mean, yes, even a debate that we had on Facebook went on was saying, hey, do you think his striking is better than GSP?
No.
No. Do you think his, I don't know, do you think his wrestling is better than GSP? I think that's an argument to be said. His jiu-jitsu was way better than GSP, so I don't know, man.
Which way are you going?
I'm gonna go with Jake, man. I think Jake is hungry right now. And the reason I say Jake Shields is because Jake Shields is hungry, whereas GSP is looking at, I just want to be the legend and establish my legacy in the UFC.
Here's the thing. I'm ultimately critical of George St. Pierre, but this fight is tailor-made for George St. Pierre. What has George St. Pierre proven to us time and time again? If you're a wrestler, if that is your background, grappling, wrestling, you're not going to beat George St. Pierre. The guy is a phenomenal athlete. For never having wrestled, he is a destructor of wrestlers.
And then you have to look at it, too. Both of these guys train as if it's their last fight that they're ever training from. And don't get me wrong, GSP has a great camp.
Great?
It's a great camp.
The best. The Jackson camp right now is the best camp.
Okay. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. But I still think them guys in Stockton, and I know how you feel about them cats, because I mean a lot of them cats aren't too highly liked in the MMA world.
There is nobody in that camp to simulate what George St. Pierre brings to the table.
But see, the thing is that do you necessarily have to simulate a fighter in order to win?
Yes, I think so.
I don't think so.
I think that the way Greg Jackson runs that camp, George St. Pierre has faced many wrestlers, Matt Hughes being the last one to beat him, and he beat him with an armbar. Look, bottom line is George St. Pierre, better striker. I mean,
I'll give you that.
Hands down.
I'll give you that.
If you were comparing them, George St. Pierre striking would be phenomenal. Jake Shields would be subpar.
I'll give you that.
Grappling, I'll give it to Jake Shields if he can get it.
Right.
But George St. Pierre ain't the kind of dude that's going to lay on the ground and let this dude just manhandle it.
I give you that, but I'm telling you, man, Jake Shields is just that he's that creative to where he will try to get he will get it.
I guess we're going to see.
We will.
But I'm going to tell you right now.
I'm gonna pick the underdog. I'll pick him.
I don't think Jake Shields is the underdog.
I think Jake Shields has a great chance.
The one thing I want to point out, first fight back in the UFC,
It was horrible.
was horrible, and this is going to be his second fight. I don't know if he's accustomed to the immense size of that octagon.
I don't think it was that much bigger. But
I think GSP is going to wear his ass out. Just pure athleticism. I'm just saying. Now we're going to throw in a bonus fight in there just because one of them dudes from Stockton.
Nate Diaz versus Roy McDonald.
Roy McDonald. McDonald is undefeated in the UFC.
I'm going to say this. I think Nate Diaz might be underestimating Roy McDonald.
We have a tendency to go against the Diaz brothers notoriously, but I really feel that this is going to be the time that Nate Diaz loses a fight.
Well, he lost his last one.
Two.
Pull it up.
Nate Diaz lost his last fight. I don't think he lost his last fight, did he? Yes, he did.
Go.
Yes, he did. You're right. I completely forgot about that. He did, in fact, lose. He lost to Dong Young Kim, but it was an arguable decision.
It was an arguable decision. I still think he Dong Young. That was a unanimous decision.
The stun gunner.
But
anyways, I'm going Roy McDonald on this. I think Diaz. They underestimate everybody they fight.
I gotta give it to Roy too. So.
All right. Well, that's all we got for this episode. Until next time, I'm Chuck.
And I'm D.
And you were in the clinch.